Good morning, everyone. I stayed warm and dry last night during the rain. It rained all night, but the good news is the weather seems to have passed, and all the rain is to the east of us. And so I'm going to stay dry during today's hike. Quick update on my back. Feels good. Woke up this morning, slight tightness, less than previous days. No pain this morning while I was getting ready and while I was stretching and everything. So I think the worst is behind us. So all that being said, I will probably just discontinue the updates on the back unless heaven forbid I regress and the pain returns. But I think the worst is over. Pain is definitely something that occurs on these types of long hikes, and so I'm glad at least now everything seems to be working in terms of alleviating it. And as long as I stay on that road to recovery, we'll just move on like every day is a normal day. So today is going to be a 24.2 mile day into Hamburg, Pennsylvania. I'll arrive this evening, and from there I intend to stay in town. I'll resupply in the morning and then head back out onto the trail in the afternoon. It's going to be a little bit of a different routine for me in terms of the timing when I hit the trail, but this is going to allow me to be a bit efficient. I have to admit, I feel like I have a need to make up for lost time from my 00 in Duncannon, where I stopped to rest my back. And I know that I'm not in a race against anyone, and I don't have a particular scheduled deadline when I must reach Maine, but I just feel like I need to make up for lost time, and so I don't want to delay in Hamburg any longer than I need to. So yeah, that's the plan. 24.2 today. Should be a mostly cloudy day. I'm going to be ridge walking practically the whole way there. Trail has started off this morning rocky, but that's to be expected, right? We are in Rocksylvania. So thanks for joining me. I'm happy to share my journey with you, and I'm always grateful for your support. Let's get the day started. And after only a half a mile, all the rocks cleared, and we're back to smooth trail. This has been our trend. Still loving it. They're definitely rocks, but they're patches of rocks that I've encountered so far. This has kind of been our trail profile for about the last hour. It's very rocky, as you can see. Still relatively flat, so it's not difficult, just slow going. It's important to watch your footing, especially on a day like today where moss-covered rocks can be quite slick. So you want to choose your footing very carefully. fog hasn't given us much of an opportunity for some views today, but I do know of one view that is very much worth sharing. There it is, folks. 1,200 miles. Only 994.3 miles left. I'm down to triple digits remaining. So that's an amazing feeling. I really get a boost of energy out of each of the 100-mile markers. And, you know, to be down to triple digits remaining, the 1,200-mile mark feels special to me. They're all special, but I can now count the distance that I have remaining to Mount Katahdin in Maine in the hundreds of miles. Whereas when I started, I was counting them in the thousands. It's a terrific day. And so after a long stretch of rock and boulders, we have this beautiful trail, flat, smooth. So for the last few days, I have been searching for Rocksylvania, you could say. And that is this long, endless stretch of trail that you hear about from other hikers who have completed the AT or completed sections in Pennsylvania. Just about how, you know, by the time it's not over, you just wish the rocks would end and things like that. But I've also heard from experienced hikers that Pennsylvania really is just patches of rock followed by patches of dirt trail followed by more patches of rock. Now, some of these patches can be strenuous. There can be boulders. Some of these rocks, when you step on them, they'll shift and they'll rock and they'll move, which really just means that when you're on these rocky sections, you really just kind of have to look down and look at where you're planting your feet, and it slows your pace. And yeah, it can be annoying, but all in all, the elevation profile, short of some climbs, you know, here and there, is really pretty flat from what I've experienced thus far. It's not too bad. You know, I was moving slowly at first this morning over the rock patches, but now that I'm on this dirt path, I'm on an expressway. So I kind of have started thinking of them as expressways and neighborhoods. When you're on expressways, you can go fast. When you're in neighborhoods, you got to slow down and proceed with caution. And so that's kind of how I treat the rocky patches and the open portions of trail. So from here on out, I'm just going to take the trail as it comes. And unless something dramatic pops up in the future to change my mind, Rocksylvania is not that bad. So I think this is actually pretty awesome. We're standing on the site of Fort Detrick Snyder. This was an important lookout post to warn against enemy approaches during the French and Indian War. This marker is placed here by the Historical Society of Berks County. Pretty cool. I don't know, I love history. So that was pretty neat to see. Well, everyone, we are 15.2 miles into the day. I think we're gonna come down here to Eagle's Nest Shelter and have a quick lunch. All right, lunch is over. We are back on the trail. So lunch was good. I had 2 slices of pizza that I had packed in from my stay last night at the 501 shelter. If you saw that video, you may recall that you can order pizza and have it delivered to the parking area near the shelter. They just require a $20 minimum order. But there were a lot of backpackers last night, so we had no trouble covering that cost. But it was a nice change of pace to have the pizza instead of the typical Spam and beef sticks with cheese, which has kind of been my go-to as of late. But it was a really good lunch. I've now got just over 9 miles left in the day. Let's hope the trail conditions stay as nice as they have been so far this morning. Everybody, we haven't had any views yet today, so we have one chance for one. A place called the Auburn Overlook. Not much of a view today. You'll have to do. Still a great day. Coming down the hill into Port Clinton and Hamburg. And apparently, whoever grooms trails in Pennsylvania doesn't like switchbacks. This is a steep decline. We are crossing into the town of Port Clinton across the Schuylkill River. So there are 2 towns that are right next to one another. Port Clinton, which is the smaller of the 2, and the other is Hamburg. Now Port Clinton actually has a pavilion inside the town that hikers can use as a shelter. I, on the other hand, am sharing a hotel with another backpacker tonight. And we're both going to resupply and try and get back out onto the trail. So we're going to Hamburg, which is where the Cabela's and all of the resupply options are located. We follow along the Schuylkill River for just a short ways till we get to a parking lot where we're going to look for transportation into town. So everybody, I am at the Microtel in Hamburg. I'm actually sharing a room with another backpacker named Band-Aid. We've been hiking together now for several hundred miles, but we had an occasion to share a room and split the cost, so it's a win-win. It was an easy 24.2 miles into Hamburg today from the 501 shelter. I think we verified something today. Rocksylvania is not that scary. There are rocks, there are steep inclines, but both are short-lived, and they're spread apart among some really smooth bits of trail. And so it was really an enjoyable day of hiking. Came in today at Pennsylvania 61 at Hamburg. I think there was a lesson learned there in that it is not a convenient place for shuttles, Ubers, things like that. You have to plan ahead accordingly. I ended up doing a 1.4 mile walk from that road intersection with the AT into Hamburg. If I would have had a little bit better information up front, I could have probably arranged for a shuttle to meet me there. So I would just say for anybody else that wanted to come into the Port Clinton or Hamburg area, Port Clinton seems to be a convenient spot to get off the trail to coordinate for a shuttle. Cabela's offers a shuttle route from Port Clinton to Hamburg to allow for some shopping. Those times have to be verified with Cabela's, but Port Clinton seems to be a very convenient stop. If you were to decide to go all the way to Pennsylvania 61 to come into Hamburg, then you'll definitely want to identify a shuttle service or something like that ahead of time, or even a local taxi service within Hamburg. Personally, I tried to even identify an Uber, but Uber probably runs here, but it was just going to be a long wait to identify a driver, so it's not robust. So something you probably don't want to rely on. All said and done, it's been a great, successful couple of days. The back is feeling great, and I'm looking forward to finishing a resupply tomorrow and headed back north towards Delaware Water Gap. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you joining my journey. I'm Brix.